Luke for sharing the TV, joined by Chris Millington, so a 0-0 draw. What are your thoughts on the game?
Okay, so again, I think I've said this before. Quite an entertaining 0-0, really. I thought, firstly, a big sort of thank you to everyone involved, really, the staff, our own staff, who worked incredibly hard to get the game on, and the staff, the manager and assistant from Fylde as well, who have worked really hard to make sure we got a game on today, and it was very important we did. So. And I think also there was other members of their staff who were involved in making sure we got it on. So first of all, well done to everybody for making sure we got a game, and it was a really good one. It was really useful. I know Fylde will take a lot out of it, and I thought in spells they did very well. They gave us the test that we expected. They try and build, they want to play through the thirds, they've got the pragmatism to know when it's on to build and when they have to go a bit more direct and mix it up. So they did that well. What we tried to do was build on what we've done in terms of our counter-attacking, and I thought we had 5 or 6 really good chances in the first half, and I would say 4 of those came from the counter, and we've got to finish those. They're the ones that, you know, in a league game, we get the first one and it could easily be a cricket score, and really, you know, at half time we should have been 2 or 3 up off those chances. And then in the second half, Fylde came out with a bit more bite and they were a bit sharper and probably dominated possession better than we did. But again, we've had the best chance of the half in the 1v1 for Aaron, and it was identical to the Farsley game. He's got to finish it. He knows it, and he'd done an awful lot of work for us up to that point. So I'll be interested to see what the running stats are for him, because we can maybe forgive him a little bit because of the fatigue he will have been experiencing, having covered the ground he'd covered, done the amount of accels he'd done, and on a 3G pitch it also takes it out of the legs. But you know, we've got to take those chances, and in a league game, that's where we can see ourselves running away with it a little bit. But loads of positives and loads of learning, so it was a really good experience.
Of course, coming up against a team in our own league, a very real pointer as to where we're at this pre-season.
Yeah, and a good team. I think they'll do well. You know, I think it's the teams who come up out of the north largely perform well. Gateshead finished the season strong last season, and obviously York City had a real bright start to the season last season. And I think Fylde will do well. I wouldn't be surprised if they're finishing top half. And you know, with talk to the staff, I would imagine they'll probably be aiming to do even better than that. So these will do well, and it is a good measure for us. I think they've played one more game in pre-season, so arguably slightly ahead of us as well in some respects. But we come away from it knowing that we're going to be incredibly hard working, loads of energy. We're going to be exciting, especially on the counter attack, and if we can do a little bit more work in dominating possession, then I think we should have a really well-rounded team who can perform well in the National League.
As you said, looking at that first half, Town probably certainly with the more chances, and of course hitting the post as well.
Yeah, and that's it's pleasing and disappointing in the same breath, because we've created a lot of good chances. They're not half chances. They're not fortuitous little nicks and opportunities that evolve. They're by design, and you know, we design them, we work on them, and we create them, and we've got to finish them. Simple as that. And the lads know it, and we'll continue to work on it. We'll continue to have high expectations around that stuff. So really pleasing in one breath that we've created those chances, and slightly frustrating in another that we've not come away with a couple of goals.
Of course, as you mentioned, the second half slightly more even, but it's also Town the more likely to win the game.
Again, I think so. It became really stretched later in the game, and I think I'm thinking more about us when I say this. You know, we looked leggy. We started to look a bit more disjointed in our shape, whether that was with the ball or without. And that's mainly because there's not many lads in this group who've had 90 minutes yet. So, you know, as we got towards the last 20 minutes, last 15 minutes, we still played well. We still competed for everything. We still got ourselves up the pitch and into good areas, but we did look a little bit more leggy as the game went on. But yeah, a pleasing second half as well in a lot of what we did.
course, up next it's the Curzon-Ashton double header, and I'm sure a chance for everyone to get a full 90 minutes under their belt.
That's the point, yeah, that's the objective, is to make sure everybody's got a full 90 there, and then anyone who needs topping up on the Tuesday against Radcliffe will make sure they get top ups. So we go into those games really with a lot of our work done in terms of tactical work, physical preparation. We're where we need to be at this stage, and we go into them looking for performances now off people. We'll go into them looking for lads who will really want to put themselves in the frame for starting against Bromley in the first game of the season. So we'll go into that game making sure, into those games I should say, making sure that we're ready, and it's a really well-rounded performance.
Thank you.
Thanks, Luke.